Welcome to the LRQA Supply Chain video podcast series with Professor Richard Wilding, one of the world's leading supply chain experts. This episode is the first in a series which covers the key elements of global supply chain strategy.
Hello, I'm Professor Richard Wilding. I'm Professor of Supply Chain Management at Cranfield School of Management. Cranfield School of Management is one of the top European business schools, and at Cranfield our whole philosophy is about getting knowledge into practice. When we're thinking about the supply chain, therefore, ensuring and creating assurance within the supply chain is key. We don't want supply chain errors. Errors in the supply chain or problems in the supply chain will impact on our shareholder value. So a key thing that we need to think about is really ensuring that we have the appropriate security in our supply chain, particularly when we're managing global supply chains. We also need to think about the environment, because that can have a big impact as well. If we're seen as a dirty company, that can have a big impact on our shareholder value. And we also need to be able to sort of think about the whole issue of safety as well, safety of our products, perhaps food safety. Are we ensuring that this product isn't going to make people ill in the future? So therefore, what we have to be able to do is to assure that various parts of our supply chain are using common standards. And this needs to be sort of verified in some way. So it's very important that we have external verification that processes are in place within the organisation and throughout the supply chain to ensure that these, if you like, external risks do not start to impact on our business and destroy our business and subsequently destroy the value of our business. And this is why it is very important that we do have, if you like, standards and approaches and processes in place that ensure that we do things correctly. Of course, in some supply chains, you have to have particular standards. But this is just seen as a way of, well, I've got to comply with the standard in order to be able to work. In other words, it's just an order qualifier for you operating in that market. But if we use these particular processes and ways of thinking correctly, we can use this as an order winner. At the moment, I'm working with LRQA on supply chain assurance. Now this is particularly exciting for me because I'm able to test out ideas and understand some of the things of how standards can be used to really support supply chains and make the supply chains more effective in the future, because it's a matter of making these processes that we use within the supply chain in a variety of areas, you know, security, for example, environmental, food safety, and so on and so forth. And how can we use those and use those to leverage if you like, better supply chain practice in general? What do the LRQA get out of a relationship like this? Well, what they're able to do is to tap into some of the academic work which is going on, and also some of sort of the thought leadership which is taking place in other areas as well. So they're able to also sort of build the relationships. So these relationships are very symbiotic. There's the relationship between the company and the individual academic, but also that has an impact in building relationships with the university, which, as I said, generally leads on to other things as well, like other research projects, could be PhD projects, development programs, and so on and so forth. So companies working with industry, it's got to be the way to go. It's good news for everybody. Everybody gets something out of it.
Thank you for watching the LRQA Supply Chain video podcast series. To download any of the episodes, visit www.lrqa.com.